Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing the anticipated 2025 releases. Now, there's a lot of these where I want to read them myself, but then there's some where I have picked, so I've gone through Waterstones coming soon, like releases, and I've compiled 48 books. Some of these, again, like I said, are ones that I want to read, but then there are some where I've seen the cover, thought, oh, these look nice, read the blurb, thought these sound like interesting, could be that I want to read them or that other people might enjoy them, and so I've got more books. Like, there's 48, I'm not going to buy all 48 because that's just a lot of books, but I'm aware that on YouTube there's a lot of the same books, so I was trying to find different like titles, so at least then people are finding out about new books from like smaller authors and whatnot. So that was kind of what I wanted to do, and I'm hoping that this video opened your eyes to like more authors that you wouldn't necessarily have heard of. But yeah, I've spent like the past hour going through the Waterstones upcoming releases page. So I'm gonna obviously I'm doing it in chronological order. So the first book is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson, which is set to be released on the 2nd of January. This is a book that I think it came across like my Facebook, and it's like a fantasy, and it just looks really interesting. Also, I forgot to say that some of the books in here are already released in hardback, but I've included like the paperback release date just because I know a lot of people do read in paperbacks, and sometimes it's hard to keep track of when a book is coming out in paperback, so I have got some of those on there as well. And I say that because the next book is The List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. The hardback is already out, but the paperback comes out on the 2nd of January. The next book is Daughter of Chaos by A.S. Webb. This comes out on the 16th of January. Then also on that day is The Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Qureshi, and also The Monsters We Are by Suzanne Rice. The Baby Dragon Cafe is like a cozy fantasy with dragons in a cafe, and then I think The Monsters We Are is also like a fantasy romance or something like that. Then we've got Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros on the 21st of January. Then we've got The Atlas Complex in paperback by Olivia Blake. This is on the 30th of January. Then also on the 30th of January, we've got the paperback of Crimson Moth by Kristen Cicciarelli, I don't know, Cicerelli, I don't know how to pronounce the surname, but that comes out in paperback that day. Then we've got Murtagh by Christopher Paolini. This, Amazon is technically telling me 2 days. It's telling me either the 6th of February or the 3rd of April. So we will very much see. And then the next book is Deep End. Okay, so that one wasn't in chronological order. Oops. The next one is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood on the 4th of February. Then we've got Phantasma in paperback on the 6th of February. Also on that day is Iron and Embers by Helen Schuera. This is a book that I came across. Then on the 11th, we've got Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. This is book 3. I haven't even read book 1. Then we've got Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver on the 11th as well. Again, I haven't even read book 1, although I do also own book 2. Then this next book is one that I came across that actually I'm really excited for, and it sounds really, really good. Is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. This is to do with like fae trying to break someone else's like, not curse, but like wish that they got granted where it didn't work out well for them. And it just sounds so good. Like so good. And then we've got First Time Caller by B.K. Borison on the 13th. Also, The Rose Bargain was on the 13th as well. Then on the 27th, we've got The Rebel Witch, which is the sequel to Crimson Moth. This is obviously coming out in hardback on this date. I really need to put my glasses on because I'm actually, like, my eyes are, they actually struggled then. Where did I get up to? Then I'm really excited for this one, like really excited. Funny Story by Emily Henry, paperback, comes out on the 27th of February, which absolutely amazing. I love that. I was expecting it to be out like middle of the year because I didn't know that it had been released with Waterstones. Then we've got To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. This was another fantasy one that I came across that I thought looked good, and that comes out on the 4th of March. Then we've got The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore on the 13th of March. I haven't even read books 1 or 2 or 3, but I thought I'd include it. Then we've got The Wild Trials by Mackenzie Reid on the 13th as well. Another one that I don't know too much about, but I thought that the plot sounded interesting. Then we've got Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I might wait for that to come out on paperback just because I own Light Lark in paperback, but it's like a trade paperback size. Summer in the City, I think it's a contemporary, so it's not fantasy, but Emmy got the early copy, like the early arc, and loved it, so I'm really excited, and that comes out on the 25th of March. Then we've got The Notorious Virtues by Alwyn Hamilton, that comes out on the 27th of March. Then you've got Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez on the 1st of April. I love how it's coming out on April Fools, like that is quite funny. Then we've got Fearless by Lauren Roberts on the 8th, which I am really excited for, because this is the 3rd and final book in the Powerless trilogy. Although, as I said in my previous video, I don't think it's going to be the last we see from this world. Like, we're going to get some form of like Christmas novella, or just we're going to get something. Like, if Mac isn't included in book 3 in some way, like he is, like, I'm sorry, but we can fucking protect that one. Then there's going to be another novella, like there's going to be something. Then we've got Swept Away by Beth O'Leary on the 8th as well. In her more recent releases, I've not had as much good luck, and I've not enjoyed the books as much. I enjoyed The Switch, The Flatmate, and The Road Trip more. I don't know whether it's just the tropes or what, but yeah. Then we've got Firebird by Juliet Cross on the 10th of April. Then we've got Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage on the 15th of April. This is book 4 and the final one in that Rebel Blue Ranch series. I wonder if she's going to do a thing with like how Elsie Silver does it, where there's going to be like a spin-off series following some character that was mentioned in one of the series, and then we're going to, you know what I mean. Then we've got Voice of the Ocean by Kelsey Impeccable, who on the 22nd of April, who used to work at BuzzFeed, did the 100 Baby Challenge, and now kind of works on her own, like just like for her own channel and whatnot. And I didn't know she has written something, so I'm kind of excited for that one, because obviously I'm kind of aware of who she is, and I have been for many years. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of how she writes as an author. I can sort of imagine there'd probably be some humour in it. I think that one follows like a mermaid or something. I can't remember too much. Then we've got Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry on the 24th of April. I won't end up buying it next year because I know I'll be buying it in paperback, so I probably won't get it till like start of 2026, but I wanted to include it anyway. Then we've got Spellbound by Georgia Layton on the 24th as well. Don't remember too much, I just know it's a fantasy. Then we've got The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson on the 24th as well. I don't remember what that's about, I just know it sounded interesting again. Then we've got The Paperback of the Familiar by Lee Bardugo, which comes out on the 1st of May. Then we've got One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune on the 8th of May. Then we've got The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig on the 20th of May. I've watched a couple of these where people have done up till like June or July, and I've not seen that mentioned, and I know that a lot of people liked the One Dark Window series. So yeah. Then we've got Air of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray on the 5th of June. That's the thing, the releases have started to get like more spaced out, because obviously there's still releases to be announced. But then we've got Six Wild Crows by Holly Race on the 10th of June. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping on the 15th of July. This is from the author of the Irregular Society, of like Irregular Witches, that one. The Secret Society of Irregular Witches or something like that. I never read that book. I probably might do at some point. Then we've got Not Dead Yet by Holly Jackson on the 17th of July. Accomplice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer on the 7th of August. Then we've got The Executioners 3 by Susan Dennard. I think that's like a thriller. There is probably one of the ones that's like a thriller instead, where I said it's like a fantasy. Then we've got, The Baby Dragon Bakery, which is the sequel to the Baby Dragon Cafe. And that comes out on the 28th of August. Then we've got Season of Fear by Emily Cooper on the 28th of August. Then we've got The Gingerbread Bakery by Laurie Gilmore on the 11th of September. Oof. Comes out on 9/11. Oof. Oof. Then we've got the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club series. It currently doesn't have a name, which comes out on the 25th of September. Then we've got The Ballad of Fallen Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. I still haven't read the first book. I own it though, which comes out on the 7th of October. And then there is a Harlan Coben ex Reese Witherspoon thriller. Yeah, Reese Witherspoon is writing a book for a thriller, which I obviously never knew and only came across because of going through this list. But that comes out on the 23rd of October this year, obviously. And that's kind of, there was a few Waterstones releases after that, but none that were like interesting to me. But yeah, that's the list of 2025 releases. There's obviously 48 there. There's obviously going to be more. Authors are probably going to announce like in the new year and whatnot. But that's like a good range. And obviously there was like very tiny thriller in there. Because I don't kind of keep track of thrillers. I kind of pick up and choose where I can, because obviously they're like standalones. But I'm just, there's a lot of, there's just a lot of releases, and some that I might just pick up on like Kindle, some that I'll pick up physically. Obviously I definitely will be picking up Funny Story in paperback when it gets released. Like, even if I was on like a book buying ban, I think in the new year I'm gonna do a little bit of like a Waterstones haul, like an actual like bigger one, not just one where I'm doing like one book. But I also might wait slightly until some of these like releases come out, because obviously then it'd be good to just do like one big video. I love how I've basically only been awake like 4.5 hours after this 5-hour sleep, and I'm like yawning. But honestly, that's probably a good thing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if there are any releases that I've not mentioned that you are excited for, that I should just kind of add to my radar. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.